Welcome back to another Cinema Talks video, and Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 2 is now here. So in this video, we're going to break down each episode. So let me know your guys' thoughts on Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 2 as we jump into a spoiler breakdown of each episode. We will be getting the finale on December 31st, and it's going to be absolutely insane. Starting with Episode 5, Shock, we pick up right where we left off at the end of Episode 4 as we see Will kneeling in the aftermath of the battle. We see part of Vecna's speech to Will as he talks about the kids being his vessels. They now find out that Vecna has all 12 kids in the spires. We then see Derek and all of the other kids waking up in Camazotz as Henry greets them. Henry then tells the kids why he needs them and what his future plan is for them to work together with him. Then we cut to Collie in the back of the seat in the car with Eleven and Hopper as they drive away from the lab. We do see Hopper and Elle have a small conversation because Eleven knows that Hopper was planning to take himself out with Vecna. So obviously in this situation, Eleven deserves to be mad 100%. We now see Dustin, Steve, Jonathan, and Nancy arrive to Hawkins' lab in the Upside Down. So they think that the wall around the Upside Down is an energy shield that they need to find. We see them split into two groups with Jonathan and Nancy in one and Steve and Dustin in the other one as they go to look for the energy shield. Back in Camazotz, we see Holly leave Vecna's house to go to Max and tells her about Henry's plan. But then out of nowhere, Derek shows up, and this scene was insanely funny, and I loved Max and Holly's reaction to the story of how he got there. We then see Joyce pitching an idea to everyone, saying for Will to connect back to the hive mind. Then we get this awesome sibling moment between Lucas and Erica as they both come up with plans for the team. Erica says that they should go look for Dustin's mentor, Mr. Clark, as Lucas thinks to Frankenstein a Demogorgon to create the hive mind particles for Will. Now back at Hawkins' lab in the Upside Down, we see both of the teams arguing with each other. We cut back to Callie and Eleven as they talk about killing Henry once and for all. Callie believes that killing Henry won't end this nightmare, and I feel like she has the right to believe that. Callie explains how they found her and how they took her into the lab into the Upside Down. We then learn that they were taking Callie's blood to use it to recreate what Brenner was doing to the kids in Hawkins' lab and create people just like Callie. Now we see Max and Holly actually going through Holly's memories to find a way out of Camazotz. We cut back to Steve and Dustin in the Rainbow Room as tension starts to rise and they actually end up fighting each other. So this scene was very emotional, but luckily they do make it up at the end of the day. Callie then informs Eleven that they are using her blood to infuse it into pregnant women to make more like her. So this leads to the huge reveal that Henry's blood is in Callie and Eleven. So this makes Eleven and Henry even more connected in a way. So this is why Dr. K is after Eleven, because she wants to remake Brenner's experiments. We see Mr. What's-It catch up to Derek as we see a Demogorgon on a roof getting shocked to life. Then Will now taps into the hive mind and sees into the mind of Derek, so now the team knows about Max and Holly trying to escape. But as Holly and Max are on the brink of escaping, Vecna comes to stop them as he is glitching between forms. He starts to choke Max as if she's pretty much dead, but then Will starts to actually take control over Vecna, which was absolutely insane. This allows him to free Max as he tells them to run. Then the episode closes with Jonathan and Nancy up on the roof of Hawkins' lab as they think to be looking at the shield generator. But Dustin is in Brenner's office reading his old notes as he alarms them not to touch anything up there. But the episode ends with Nancy firing her shotgun into the sky. So that episode was pretty great. It had some great scenes. I love the relationship between Will and Robin, and then the relationship between Max and Holly as well. So now let's jump into episode 6, which was a really highly anticipated episode called Escape from Camazotz. The episode opens with an explosion above Hawkins' lab as it goes all the way and hits that giant wall, as then we get the return of Mr. Clark to help Erica and the rest of the team. We then see Dustin tell Steve an insane reveal about the Upside Down, and that the Upside Down is a wormhole between dimensions. So this was an insane reveal that the Upside Down connects the right side up to Dimension X. We then see Will tied up in vines with Vecna as they have an insane conversation that ends up revealing that Will dug those tunnels all the way back in Season 2. So this was an insane reveal and makes Season 2 even more interesting, as Vecna goes on to say that it is time for my vessels to lead us into this new world that will help him one last time. We see Eleven and Hopper make it out of the Upside Down as Callie is there as well. And there is definitely some tension between Callie and Hopper, so I wonder if we'll see more of that in the future. We then see Holly start to make a brilliant plan, but back at Hopper's cabin, we get this nice scene between Mike and Eleven about how the military will always be after her. Callie and Eleven have a conversation about both of them going down to end this cycle once and for all. So who knows how this plan will work out in the finale, so I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. We then get this heartfelt moment between Steve and Dustin as they make amends, which was great. We also get a scene of Nancy and Jonathan as they talk about their relationship, but seem to break off from each other. Then we get this memory of young Henry in that same cave he's afraid of, so now we know what happens in that cave. Henry then opens a briefcase, but we don't see what happens next. We see Holly and Max finally find their way out of Camazotz, and Eleven does find Will in the void to save him. But then we see all of the demos going after Max and Lucas in the hospital. They all make their way down to the basement to hide, but it seems like all hope is lost. But Karen Wheeler comes to save everyone by exploding a washer, which was insane. But now we finally see Max and Holly escape from Camazotz. The episode ends with Max running out of Camazotz. So this episode was pretty good, but I feel like it could have been at least 10 minutes longer, and we could have got that Max and Lucas reuniting scene. But overall, I thought this episode was pretty good, especially Max and Holly escaping Camazotz. But now we're in the final episode of Volume 2, so let's break it down. So in the beginning of Episode 7, we see Max and Lucas reunite, which was so heartfelt and great, and I loved the dialogue in this scene. Holly then wakes up in Dimension X as she tries to escape. She ends up falling into the Upside Down from Dimension X. We get another heartfelt moment between Will and Joyce, which was great. So the team now finds out where Dustin is in the Upside Down, and now everyone is in the Upside Down together. Holly ends up reconnecting to Camazotz after Vecna pulls her back up. So now the whole gang is back together as Will and Max reunite as Dustin explains everything to everyone. Then Steve Harrington has a big brain moment as he comes up with the final plan. And this plan was insane and it sets up the finale perfectly. Dustin then ends the plan by saying that they are going to blow up the Upside Down to destroy it once and for all. So you see the game prepare as we get another great moment between Steve and Dustin. We then see Will finally express his feelings to everyone, which was great. Then we see the whole gang drive into the Upside Down for the final mission of the show. Then the episode ends in Camazotz as Vecna finally takes control of all the kids. So that was episode 7, and now we have one episode left of the entire show. I really thought that episode was great and had some great character dynamics and relationships. But the finale is going to be insane as they execute the final plan. So that is my Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 2 breakdown, and I overall did enjoy these 3 episodes. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you guys thought about Volume 2, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.